Hi, my name is Ben Lee, and with the release of Device Editor 31.5.0, we're going to go through some of the new features. First, let's look at our links. You'll notice in the lower right-hand corner that the icon has slightly changed. When we open the Manage Links box, you can see the previous connections that I have made to various devices. You also have the ability to turn on and off connections or links, as well as delete them. If I wanted to add a new link to, say, an EG2S, I would select it from the list, type in the IP address, input the password, which is Cooper LS, capital C, capital LS. That password is the same for an EG2S or the TSI-1. From there, I could turn off my local connection and just be connected directly to my EG2S. Next, let's talk about the legacy DALI tool and a new tool that we now have called the integrated DALI tool. The legacy DALI tool works with the EG2 and the USB adapter kit, just as it did in the past. The legacy DALI tool does not work with EG2S or TSI-1. EG2S and TSI-1 utilize the integrated DALI tool. The USB adapter kit also works with the integrated DALI tool. To access the integrated DALI tool, go to your SCMD4, right-click, and choose Integrated DALI Tool. From there, choose Find DALI Devices on all lines. This will search all DALI lines at once. After it finishes the scan, you should have a plus next to your SCMD4. Go ahead and expand that. And you can see that on my SCMD4, line 1 has no devices. We do have some devices on 2 and 3, as well as 4. But the devices on 2 and 3 have not been addressed yet. So we'll need to right-click and choose Initialize Unaddressed. And then OK. This should assign addresses to all the devices. Once that finishes, we'll need to resync with controller. So right-click on the line, choose Synchronize with Controller, and Yes. Once finished, that line should go black, letting you know that all the devices have been addressed and any issues have been resolved. Also, in real life, the process is not that fast. That's just part of the magic of video. Now, let's go ahead and expand line 2 and look at the 7 devices that are there. We have a couple of power packs, some switches, and an MTS sensor. So we'll have to right-click on each one of the devices to identify, just as we did in the past. Once it's identified, we can then go to Properties, select the layout of the button, and press OK. Continue to identify and set all of your devices just as you did in the past. Now that we have all of those devices identified and set, we can move on to the next line. So notice that my line 3 has signal converters that are not grouped. If we right-click on the line, we can see that we have some of the same options that we had in the past. We can also flash the entire line. Right-clicking on a DALI output device gives you a few different options. You have the identify, but you can also set minimal and maximum level of that device, as well as set failure level. Also notice that when right-clicking on any device, there is an option to set that device to unaddressed. So if you've been following the workflow, you would have already created your virtual items. So you would have set up your areas with scenes and channels. Now, according to my programming map, I'm going to go to Outputs and line 3, group 1 through 5, and I'm going to assign those to my room 1. Then I'm going to assign the individual channel. And then hit apply. Now that that's done, I'm ready to assign my signal converters. So I'm just going to drag and drop. And this is based off of the identification process we went through earlier. Now my area and channels are assigned to my outputs, and you can see the signal converters are assigned to the groups. Next to each signal converter, the area and channel number is displayed. So now that we have all the devices on all of our lines addressed and their properties set, there's one more step. Just like with the legacy DALI tool. DALI devices do not show up until we reload the SCMD4 after we get all the devices set up. You can reload from the top, or you can right-click and reload. You may have noticed down at the bottom there's also a reload and a resend. Those buttons only reload or resend the tab that you're currently on. The ones on the top do the entire device. Reload is take what's in the SCMD4 and bring it into the database. Resend is take what's in the database and send it to the device. After the SCMD4 finishes the reload, your devices should now have populated. And you can begin the process of assigning them to their areas. I have noticed after a reload, it might be necessary to close and open the SCMD4 or rescan the line.